Hi everyone, this is Christian, and today I am sitting with Tony Carter, who's a designer, founder, creative, or owner for Providence Brand, and we want to talk about our journey, how we got created, or how he created his own brand, and how we developed the product, and step by step, and how he could manage the brand in a niche area, or how efficiently came through all this kind of launching and how to serve customer with his product. So this is Tony Carter.
Hi guys. So I own Providence Brand. So Providence, just a little background for those who don't know who or what Providence is. We are an upscale streetwear brand rooted in skateboarding, and we're focused on bringing the community together, sharing our vision with those who are skateboarders, business owners, entrepreneurs. And our mission is to inspire through our clothing and through our garments, through our journey, and just being open and transparent with you guys on our process. So really where everything started, it started with skateboarding. I've been a skateboarder for about 20 years now. I started when I was 8 years old. So that one thing led to the next. I got into clothes because most skateboarders have individual styles, and that's what really attracted me to fashion in the first place.
So Tony, what's the meaning Providence? What is it? What's the Providence meaning behind it, or how did you come up with that name?
So Providence, the meaning behind it is God's guidance over your life. Mm-hmm. And the things that happen that you can't explain, mm-hmm. when you look up the word Providence, that's the definition. So you break down on the freeway and you have no one to call, no one's there, and you think this might be, I'm stuck, and then all of a sudden somebody pulls up that mm-hmm. and they help you out and they help get you back on the road. It was just Providence, that at that moment in time, exactly what you needed, God knew, and He delivered. Mm. So starting out with the brand,
it's a bold boundary kind of, or guidance, or
the guidance it's God's guidance and provision over your life. And I wanted to incorporate that name in the brand because that's the only way we're sitting here today.
Amen for that. Okay. Yeah, so you have t-shirts, you have hats, now you have denim pants. How did you come up with this product line or collection to start this printing, or on the t-shirts or hats, and how did you get to this point where the denim is more like a bold, heavy, which means like expensive cost. So tell us about what was your journey for those product lines?
Okay, so when we started out, it began with screen printing. I learned the art of design, so taking a drawing, turning that into a graphic, and then taking that graphic and making a screen from burning them, printing. I fell in love with that process. So from the beginning, it was more about making clothes than it was. We didn't quite have a strategy or anything laid out. We weren't thinking like, oh, we want to do this for a living. It was just part of the lifestyle that we already were in with skateboarding and streetwear and that part of the fashion. I just wanted to have all my friends and people that were close wearing and rocking the brand, and they reciprocated the same energy. Yeah. And from there, we started to take into consideration that, hey, we may want to turn this into something more than just printing graphics on shirts. And so that led to the next step, which was finding our purpose. Because it's very hard in this day and age, when there's so many other brands that you're competing with, to stand out if you don't have a mission, if you don't have something solid that your brand is about.
For the brand, the story is really key to success, because from that, I personally advice to those upcoming designers or brand owners to have them, create the story based out of the true story from their life, and that's legit, and that has more strength or energy to speak out, to whoever doesn't know you. And these products are just one of those platforms that you tell your story or you express your emotion or goal or purpose. So these products are the tools. Obviously we have to spend money to make these and sell it as the best cost, best price to consumer, but this is our platform to speak out and share our story. So I think you're doing great. Nowadays, recently, like 2-3 years, since 2-3 years ago, a lot of skateboarders, came to me and our factory and wanted to start their own, denim or collections with the canvas twills or even t-shirts, hoodie. But I think it's kind of like a trend, this kind of like wide leg or a little baggy, but not baggy like old 70s 80s, but like tight on high hip and waist, but straight down from low hip to the end, and it gives a comfort while you guys are doing skateboard or active lifestyles. So I think you got a good fit. I'm wearing it right now. Like I've been wearing it for almost every day, and I feel good. And it doesn't feel me. I'm not like baggy style person. I'm not that high. My height is not that tall, but I feel really comfort, and I get a lot of compliments on this simple, nice solid black jeans, with the good quality, heavy. I think we use Mount Vernon, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mount Vernon checkpoint. Mount Vernon has a really good denim made in USA. It's a USA mill, one of the good fabric mill. And yeah, and then Tony, every time I see him, he has a nice, solid, simple, bold, like piece of clothing on him. Every time, like what was it? Dickie pants, solid, clean, nice fit. He has a good sense of those, products, how to wear or style. It all combines. To have a brand, you have to, those are, key like needs. Those senses, put them together, and it will come out through the clothing. So. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Great.
Thank you, Christian. A huge thing that I was into before we got into cut and sew was, antiquing, thrifting, and I would find a lot of vintage pieces. And so that really sparked an idea in my head of like, the quality from those pieces were unmatched. I really couldn't find that anywhere with, most of the newer brands, because they're outsourcing overseas and they're doing, they're making runs, but they're not focused on making products with integrity like they used to. So you could have two pairs of the same fitting Levi's that don't fit the same because one was made in Taiwan and one was made in China or wherever. And so the quality control isn't there. They're more focused on profit margins.
Yes, so that's more business. If I could jump in here, another tip you guys to know is, big brands or small brands, they make their product in different origin, like made in USA, Mexico, China, Turkey, Indonesia. So anywhere they find the efficiency of their, business type. So as Tony mentioned, to make a denim, we have to have fine-tuned pattern pieces for each style. And even with the same pattern pieces, with the shrinkage, with the certain wash shrinkage, same pattern, if you produce it in the USA and send it to China or overseas factory, it will make a difference. Why? Because their cutting styles. For those fine-tuned pattern pieces, even we send the digital pattern to overseas factory, the reason why the fit becomes different is because this denim pieces, I mean, in general, every product's garment, it's very sensitive per fabrication. But even though with this heavy canvas denim material, you know, with the fine-tuned pattern, if you have different way of cutting, you know, when we make the pattern, it's already designed. It's a design. When you draw the line, same curved line, it makes difference, you know. So I sometimes prefer, you know, handmade, like handmade pattern instead of digital. But when you cut same pattern with the marks, you know, they curve differently. Every individual people cuts differently. And overseas, the benefit of overseas manufacturing is they're fast and, you know, the cost efficient, but they do it really fast. So you may like cut out important shape, you know, during the cutting or doing the sewing. So, but again, you know, I respect every business. So, you know, but made in USA is, you know, prefer for this type of, you know, premium line or high collections or value quality to make. So Tony,
Yes.
how did you think of start? Oh man,
I got everything.
so
Well, they're looking for somebody. That doesn't look good.
okay, are you it should be good.
It's part of the moment.
So Tony, how did you think of starting the denim, add denim collection or product to your existing t-shirts or hat line? Because denim, you know, obviously it's a bigger costing, you know, like financially. And how did you overcome or how did you manage those financial backup or, you know, strategy for you know, to produce this heavy weight of costing, you know, product?
Well, it was a risk. It was a
Yeah.
risk that I was willing to take because, you know, like I had mentioned about the t-shirts, printing and everything, that's great, but it's a little bit less involved.
Oh, yeah.
And my passion has always been in design. Like when I want to say I was maybe 10 years old. At that time, a popular style was the slim cut jeans. And so my parents couldn't afford to, you know, buy me the expensive ones that were on the market that I wanted as a kid. So what I got instead was a sewing machine. And so I learned how I could, you know, flip the pants inside out, and then I could take them up and give them the fit, you know, that I wanted.
Yeah.
But at that time, I wasn't looking at it as a business or anything like that. I was just looking at it as far as I had a very specific look that I was going for, and I was going to find any way to you know, get that fit that I was looking for.
Yeah.
And so fast forward into the future, you know, like I said, we did a lot of thrifting and, you know, antiquing, and I would always come across one-of-one pieces, some old Levi's, some old Gaps, different pieces that, you know, fit real well, but I couldn't find them on the market today if I looked. So that sparked the idea of putting time and some effort into coming up with our own pattern that could resonate with other skateboarders who are alike, who are interested in the upscale streetwear side of the industry. Because just like the tricks, like having a good bag of tricks is important, to go along with that, having a good style is also important.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a pair of denim that was functional, you could move in, and they were heavy duty, and they would last you longer than, you know, another pair of pants that might tear up quicker.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a great choice that you wanted to have your bold and statement piece to your brand or collection, because denim always, you know, helps you elevate your brand or upscale your collection. to have a right, good solid quality denim. I mean, even you made only one style out of nice, fit and the fabric and wash. I mean, it helps your brand to
Take shape.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great, and this is one thing that touched me while I was helping you produce or develop this denim line. I found that you are working, other than you work for your brand, you also worked at UPS. That was really touched, and that drove me like how passionate you are, for this journey and dream and vision. And I wanted to help more. I want to pour more time and my passion to this, one single product. So I mean,
we couldn't have been more grateful, and I'm still grateful. You made it possible for our dream to come true. So, even if we weren't selling on a major scale, just the fact that we made it to the point of start to finish was amazing. And
that was a success already.
And we could, we couldn't have done it without you. I've got to thank you first and foremost for taking the time and taking the risk, because I remember when we first started, you weren't sure. You're like, it's a pretty big project to take on, and but you came back to me and you're like, I want to help you guys with this, and you were patient with it, because the funding was real challenging. I was working at UPS at the time. I'd get up about like 2 o'clock in the morning and I worked till 9. After that, I would do window cleaning. So we do window cleaning for residential and commercial buildings, just so that I could cover rent expenses, all of that, and then also put money aside for this project, and really aiming to live with a purpose and not just existing. We wanted to bring this vision to fruition and share with other people who are, who resonate with the same things that we're interested in with clothing and fashion and design, because it's bigger than just making clothes and selling them online and profiting for yourself. It's way bigger than that. Just like Christian said, I mean, he had all of the knowledge and the know-how, and when we came into it, I had nothing but an idea. I had nothing but a vision and a goal, and you really helped shape and form that and bring that to life. And so, I mean,
I'm grateful to hear all this kind of story, whoever we helped, and me and my partners and the factory owners and teams. It's all their all of us effort and passion and hearts to help this type of upcoming entrepreneurs or designers to make their dreams come true and to make it alive, and then they could take it from there. But what you put into those hard effort, it means a lot to us in the industry, business owners, or like it tells us you guys want it for real. It's not just a game for money and business. So we've tried to allocate all the saving sources of cost efficient, like where to get trims, what to buy, where to buy fabric, and how to minimize the washing techniques and all of that. So I mean, again, it came out a nice product, and we're so happy for that. And now look at you, like after after 6-8 months later, now you're ready to recut, new pair and adding more quantity to it. So I'm so grateful. So let's talk about a little bit of detail, and because I'm wearing this and I like the fact of you have 7 belt loops instead of 5, so that helps a lot, like for holding up the, tighten your waist and hips in shape, and like that was nice detail. And the color of your labels, those kind of 70s, 80s vintage but modernized you know, those were awesome. I still love it. Like after a year, you know, looking at them, I'm proud of what you've been picked and, you know, detailized for your product. I mean, these are your babies, so like, again, like congratulations for your second baby. I'm so happy for you, you know.
Thank you.
And it's a blessing. The babies are a blessing to have. But yeah, I mean, these are products, but also these are, I call them baby because I want, I pour my heart and passion to these products and touch every day. You know, I treat them as, you know, baby. And if when they grow and they get adopted to other, you know, mom and pops, and they get to live alone with their life. So Tony, before we close this interview, I'd like to point out a few areas that may help, you know, upcoming entrepreneur or business-driven people. So you must have some failures or, you know, like setback while you're, you know, producing this branding or products. So, and how did you bounce back? Like, tell us about a little bit.
Okay. Yes, definitely. I mean, whenever you're working towards a large goal, you're gonna have setbacks and you're gonna have failures. But what I really came to learn was that perspective is one of the most important things when it comes to that, because you don't fail until you quit. And most of the setbacks are just learning curves. So if there's something that you don't know, that's where you've got to realize, like, hey, I need to educate myself, whether it's reading books, reaching out to people that are further along, further ahead of you, asking questions. You know, I had to really put my pride and my ego aside as far as the fact that I really didn't know everything. I didn't have the answers to every question, you know. We're a small mom and pop shop brand right now, so I didn't have the know-how with the marketing tools and strategies and, you know, the whole play. I had just a small vision of where we wanted to go, but taking action and then actually following through with those steps helped me overcome the number of times that we've stumbled and we've fallen, you know. It really helped us pick ourselves back up, because I mean, COVID was a huge challenge, you know. And then shortly after that, I had my first child. I was 25 years old at the time, and you know, I had no idea what I was gonna do, how I was gonna do it, and how we were gonna continue moving the brand forward with basically little to no money, you know. And there were times I thought it could be over, but I didn't give up. I kept pushing forward, and I stayed true to the vision that I've always had. And so, although it's hard sometimes to relay, you know, our message directly through the garments, we tell our story through our visuals, through sharing our journey with others openly, that when you have a vision and it's strong enough, you know, you can accomplish anything. And I really learned those key points from skateboarding, because before you do a trick, before you do something big, the first thing that enters your mind is fear. You know, but before fear, you have this idea, you have a vision of what you want to do, and you see yourself doing it. And that right there has to be so powerful that it pushes you past the fear. It pushes you have to want it so bad that it pushes you past the fear, and you actually do it in real life. So that little hack right there taught me a lot about life. It taught me a lot about business. It taught me a lot about, you know, things that I didn't know were gonna be ahead of me. And I was able to apply that same knowledge and those same experiences to it. And you know, when you do that, you'd be amazed. You know, you'd be amazed at what could come of that.
Yeah. For those, I wanted to add this tip. For those who wanted to become a designer or own a brand, the design is not only like you study at the design school and get a trend from those WGSN, the trendy website, or colors or sketch. No, it's your life. It's your life experience. As Tony said, like you have to put all your experience in your life, or what's going on in this society, even economy, or you know, politics or environments, that all comes through and put them into design and make the product, and those become, reseller, good product to benefit you when you design those kind of, solid design from all kinds of aspects in what's going on in this world and also to give a, better vibe and better energy, better influence. So keep that in mind, whoever wants to design your own, denim or design or clothing products. So lastly, any advice to those upcoming entrepreneurs? Nowadays, a lot of people, want to become, their sole brand, through their platform. So if you have any idea or advice for them, please.
I would say for anybody who wants to start a brand and start a business, whatever it may be, first thing is come from a place of authenticity. So, don't get into it for the reasons of just making money. If you're gonna do it with your heart and do it with your soul, because that's what's gonna resonate with your consumer, with your customer, and it's more than just selling clothes. You want to actually make a difference in somebody else's life, just like how Christian, he made a difference in my life, and there's really no other way that I could phrase that. You gotta be ready, because it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a dog fight. You gotta be ready to stand up and stand on whatever it is that you're pushing, so that people can get behind you and they can support you. And then what you do is you turn around and you pour back into the community that lifted you up in the first place. And you never forget about who supported you from day one and who gets you to where, to the place that you want to go.
Thank you, Tony, for sharing all your, story and journey, and encourage people and what to do, what not to do for those upcoming entrepreneurs. So guys, please check out providence-brand.com for all of his effort and passion and heart, and support Tony and his brand for his dream come true, and to help others and next generations, followers. So thank you so much, guys. And any comments regards what we said and what we covered, or questions, leave a comment below or DM on our Instagram at Denim Campus. Feel free to ask us, and we'll try our best to answer to you guys. This is Tony Carter at Providence Brand, and we hope to see you in a better channels and media and publications soon to be. Thank you all. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Christian. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. We all started somewhere. For us, it was at the very bottom. If you truly want to build a clothing brand like we have, you first have to do your research. There are a ton of fantastic books out there about starting your own business. The Art of Start by Guy Kiyosaki is one of my personal favorites. While all of it doesn't totally apply to the clothing industry, it'll get you asking the right questions on what you want your brand to stand for and what you want to bring to the table for your community. Just remember, everything you desire is on the other side of fear. You just have to take the steps to get to where you want to go. Keep in mind, no one else is going to do it for you, so it's up to you. But let me also say this, if you work not only hard at it, but smart at it as well, then you too can live your vision.